Alright, let's do a video here. I got a question about doing a video on pre-emergent. So, we're going to have another under the carport type of video today. Tropical storm Helena or Helene or whatever, however you pronounce it, is knocking on the door here. It's not got here quite yet, but it's done nothing but pour the rain the last 3 days, and it's not even here. And there's a spider on this. Could be bad, guys. It's rained 1.5 inches Monday and Tuesday, and it's done rain well over 1 inch today, and it's not even here yet. It won't be here till tonight and Friday morning, and then 4 to 6 to 8 inches. That's what they're saying. So there could be a good possibility of redoing the yard from fungus, no doubt. I applied azoxystrobin and TM 4.5 Saturday and went out with mefenoxam Tuesday. So I'll just tell you the update of what I'm going through. It's also could be 50-mile-an-hour winds. But anyway, back to the pre-emergent. So I use Prodiamine, and I use Dithiopyr. Name brand of Dithiopyr is Dimension. Name brand of Prodiamine is Barricade. The Prodiamine, you can get it in a granular, wettable granular like this, or you can get it in a liquid. So why do we apply pre-emergent? You know, I mentioned this in another video. This is one of the most important things, in my opinion, is to stop weeds. I mean, you know, to stop them before they start. It's going to germinate, the root's going to hit the barrier, and it's going to zap it. So I am really big on applying pre-emergent. And what I do is I apply Prodiamine in the spring, 2 apps. I normally do my first app towards the end of February, 1st of March, and then I'll do it again in April. And I'll throw this in here. This is one of my absolute favorites. This is Gallery 75DF. This is a dry flowable, which is a wettable granular. And they also make this in a liquid. So this is a broadleaf weed herbicide. It has no effect on crabgrass, goosegrass. It's only for broadleaf weeds. Unlike Prodiamine and Dithiopyr, that is for grassy weeds like crabgrass and goosegrass. So this is pretty expensive, but I can honestly say I have not had a weed in my yard in 4 years. And I apply this along with the Prodiamine in the spring. So this takes care of about every broadleaf weed you can imagine, and there's different rates for different ones. I run this in the fall, and I'm probably normally I have this applied by the 1st of October. It ain't gonna happen this year. It's just weather's just too wet, and just got too much new grass. Normally I mow 2 times and then apply the Dithiopyr after I overseed, which is around the 1st of October. And typically then what I'm trying to fight with this is poana. There's other ways you can go about doing it, but this is the best way. I don't care what they say. That's the best way, a true pre-emergent. So if you can seed early enough and get your grass mowed 2 good times, you can apply this. That's why I seed at the end of August. Is it a challenge to seed at the end of August? Absolutely, 100%. There's no question. You're going to fight hot weather and you're going to fight disease pressure. And like I mentioned with this storm, I don't know what's going to happen. I may have to end up going back and seeding some spots because of fungus. I mean, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches of rain, that's a lot of rain. And it's, you know, it's still in the 70s. So it's very active, but that's a different subject. But I do typically apply this in the fall, and I've had no poana whatsoever. And I guess it's been about 3 years. I did have some in 2020 before I started doing this, and this is the reason why I started doing this. I don't know if I'm the first one to do this. A lot of people say don't do it, but it works for me. Most of you folks have seen my yard. You can tell me if it works or not for yourself. But I do split apps on that also in the fall. But you know, you could also use this in the spring. This is excellent. It doesn't quite last as long as prodiamine. The dithiapyr, with a lot of rain, you know, it'll burn out faster than the prodiamine. Normally what gets the prodiamine is just the heat. It's the rain normally don't bother that, but it does bother the dithiapyr with a lot of rain. But you can use this. I have used this in the spring, had no issues whatsoever. This also, if you're late going out on pre-emergent, say you're, you know, going out and happen to go out in May or late April when crabgrass is done germinated, and you know, you might be a chance to see it. This will act as a post-emergent on crabgrass control if it's applied at the full rate, and you'll have to look at the label. I'm not going to give label rates on a YouTube video because you folks, you need to be reading the label and read it thoroughly. I know what the rate is on it, but I want you folks to read the label. Back to the fall, when I use this, I do run the gallery in the fall. You know, there's a lot of cool season broadleaf weeds that germinate in the fall, and then you see it in the early spring. That stops that also. And I've got a video about a fall pre-emergent application, and you'll see what I'm running. I do plan on putting it down even though it's going to be late. Anything's better than nothing, because if you're fighting poana or if you're fighting broadleaf weeds, it's not all going to germinate at one time. It's just like grass seed. You can't put grass seed down and see every seed germinate at one time. It's the same way with weed seeds. So anything to stop it's better than nothing. But again, in the fall, do not apply this to rye or KBG. Those have very weak root systems. You can only do this with fescue because fescue has a stronger root system. So if you got fescue and you mow it 2 times, you can apply this in the fall. And I would apply this more so than this. The label's a little more friendly on this, and I think it's a little easier on new grass. But I mean, there's many different types of. This spider is pissing me off. Sorry about that. There is many different types of pre-emergent. Basically, this is the 2 that is pretty common for basically all grasses. Obviously, there's some better ones for warm season grasses like Spectacle, you know, Ronstar. Spectacle is probably the best herbicide known to man, but it can't be applied to cool season grasses. So for cool season grasses, prodiamine, dithiapyr, there is one called pendimethalin, which that's actually in the Scott's crabgrass preventer, and you can use that. I don't have an issue with you using Scott's crabgrass preventer. The only issue I have with that, or any granular prodiamine like that comes in fertilizer, or the Scott's that I mentioned, I personally think spraying it, you get better overall coverage of the soil surface than spreading a granular that's got pre-emergent in it. That's just my opinion. I don't know if there's any research on that or not, but that's just my opinion on that. I mean, think about it. You're spraying with a fan tip. If you was to spray water and spray the concrete, I mean, wherever the width of that spray tip, the whole concrete's going to be wet. Versus you throwing a granular fertilizer out and there being, a piece here, piece here, piece here, piece here. And that's just my opinion on that. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but common sense tells me that spraying it would give better coverage. So that's about it. I mean, it's a pretty simple deal. This is the first step to start to having a nice lawn, is preventing weeds. Why not prevent it versus spraying a post-emergent herbicide? It just makes no sense to me. Obviously, it's not going to stop everything normally. If your yard is a little bit thinner, you still may see some breakthrough. It's not going to be nowhere near the amount of breakthrough versus not using it. But in my yard's thick. I haven't seen any. Now, I will say this. My mom's front and backyard, I redone them several years ago, and I've always applied pre-emergent, and I did not apply any pre-emergent to those last year, and they've got crabgrass in them. So take that for what it's worth. There's several spots of crabgrass in it. But that's about going to do it on this. I hope whoever commented that wanted to see pre-emergent, I hope this explained to you. I hope it helped all of you. Just showing you some, different options that you can do, and telling you how I apply those. So, and another reason, the main reason why I don't apply the prodiamine in the fall is because the yearly label rate's up after my 2 spring apps. So legally I can't apply this in the fall for the yearly rate. So that's where the dithiapyr comes in also. But it is my opinion that the dithiapyr is easier on newer grass. So that'll be it. I'll try to keep you posted on the hurricane situation. I'm dreading it, and I'm dreading probably what's going to happen, but there's nothing I can do about it, so there's no use to stress out about it. If it happens, we'll have to fix it. So don't forget, I need to mention this also. You have to water a pre-emergent in. It does not matter if you spray it or if it's a granular. It has to be watered in. So, obviously, if you don't have irrigation, you're going to have to time this around rain. It doesn't have to be watered in right away. I mean, it can sit a couple days, several days. Within a week, yeah, you need to get it watered in within a week, in my opinion. But just thought I would mention that also. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.